He's amazing. And he wants us all, to have that with him. Now, again, I'm not saying every question we ask will not get answered so swiftly. That's just facts. Because he's not going to answer things until, quite a few factors or, things are factored in. Excuse me. Are we in a point where we've gone through what he has designed for us to go through and to receive, to, get that clarity from him, to actually get that answer? Have we done what he told us to do? Have we been obedient to his word? Some answers don't come until we step on what he said step on, right? Yeah. And now to actually tie, loop back around to Joseph the Dreamer. God had to do a mighty work in this man, right? When we think about it, when we reflect on that story, Joseph, in the beginning, right? Joseph, little cocky little thing, had a little chip on his shoulder. You couldn't tell Joseph nothing. He getting all these dreams. He gonna tell his brothers every time, y'all gonna bow down to me, blase, blase. Don't think that might not have been done again with a little cockiness. And God had to clear all of that up. So although his brothers, did, it was hurtful and, wrong, etc., what his brothers did, and they were operating out of their lower selves, Joseph was operating out of his lower self as well, with the, ego-driven cockiness, right? We all have those moments. We all have perhaps gone through phases in our lives, more than likely when we were younger, where we leaned on that way more than we should have, right? And so before God can bring us into stages of our lives where he needs to do certain things through us, bless us in certain ways, and so that we can, be blessings to others and share things with his people in the ways that he needs us to, he has to do a mighty work within us. So God had to build Joseph's character. He had to clean all that up. He had to, have the cockiness subside, and that way the Godfidence would arise, right? Less cockiness, more Godfidence. Because it's a difference. It's a major difference. And I know I was younger than I am now. I'm 33 now. But in my teens, in my late teens, early 20s, I was a different me. That's a testimony that will be shared at a later point. But I was a different me, right? And God has done a mighty work within me. Less cockiness, more confidence. No cockiness, all Godfidence. Let's let's say it that way. No cockiness, all Godfidence. It ain't no edging God out. I'm following your leading. I know who I am. I know who I am through you. I'm only concerned with being who you need me to be, who you design me to be, and continue growing and evolving into that full caliber woman that you had in mind when you first, before I formed you in your mother's womb. I knew you. You know? That's my focus. And God had to get Joseph to that sort of place. Because when we first met Joseph in this story, again, there probably was a lot of, that. And then it was evident that he was his father's favorite. He had the coat of many colors. So, yeah, it was clear that he probably got a little beside himself. And that's the reason why it was easy for the brothers' lower selves to thrive in the moments where they, allowed and partook in harm coming to Joseph. So, and in all actuality, whether it was his brothers who did, the things they did or not, God was going to, he was going to clean him up within anyway. So whatever God needed to be done to Joseph, whatever he needed Joseph to go through in order to grow and evolve, in order to build that character, to have him really become the man that he had in mind when he created him. The Joseph that we saw by the end of the story, where it was, yes, that was real cold what y'all did. But what you did, you meant it for evil. God meant it for good. I'm not even tripping. I know God had me the entire time. All is forgiven. I love you still. In order for him to get to that Joseph, everything that happened in that story in between had to go down in order to strengthen and build him. In order for God to, God to really do that mighty work within him. And we all have to go through that. God is not a respecter of persons. We all have to. None of us are perfect. So, and that, could have been an answer to, if he would have asked the question along those lines, right? What's up with that? I was excited to share that news with them, what you revealed to me through my dreams, God. I was excited, like, what's up with that, right? Why did they take such offense? Let's be serious. Let's be for real. We ask God questions, we have to be ready for the answers, for real. And so an answer could have been, Joseph, check you out. Did you have to approach them in that manner? Did you have to be, with the unnecessary rah-rah, a bit too cocky, etc.? Did you have to? Check yourself. Check yourself. God hit us with that mirror, baby. Check yourself. It's like, oh, okay, you right. You are absolutely correcto mundo. See. Got it. Because had Joseph been blessed to the point where, you know, he was blessed the way he was at the end of the story, at the beginning, honey, we would have gotten a different Joseph. So, let's not get too caught up on skipping steps, on wanting to rush to the next, to get through it. No, like, even through that toughness, God's doing something. Let's ask him the types of questions that help us to reflect on ourselves, because clearly you working on me. I know I'm not perfect. I know I had some ways. So what do you need me to do? Because I need to do my part, right? So what you need me to do so that I can clear this up in the way you need me to clear this up and grow and evolve. That's not always an easy work. Working on yourself for real within is not an easy work. Surrendering and letting the Father really get it out, not the easiest of works. So I'm thankful we have that example with Joseph. Because although, yes, he was blessed tremendously by the end, and he did go through quite a bit throughout, we have to be right within. And God is going to do what's necessary by any means to get us to the place he needs us to be, to get our character on point, right? So that our character stays on point no matter what's thrown at us, no matter what we go throughout this journey here on earth. We roll with it and focus on growing through it, and focus on allowing him to continue doing that mighty work within us to accomplish all that he's needing to do so with our character building, so that we can do what it is that he needs us to do and become, again, who he created us to become. So as I prepare or continue preparing the next message, I'll post this in the meantime, in between time. But the following one will tie more into, you know, it'll basically be along the same lines. However, I have to continue studying, spending time with God on it, meditating on the word, so that I can continue receiving what he's needing me to, so that I can curate that message in a way that in the way that he needs me to, so that I can share it, and so that whoever again arrives here to receive that he needs will do so, and it's what he needs for each person that he divines and sends here to receive it in the way that he needs. I am going to finish enjoying my drive, so I'm going to stop this freestyle here. I don't know, maybe I will add to it later, not quite sure yet, but for now, this is the first freestyle, or let's Adonai and I's first freestyle, or the first freestyle with Adonai and I. What ifs? We'll get it together. Happy Sabbath day. This is an extremely beautiful day that the Father has made. I focus on rejoicing. I focus on staying glad in it. It is so beautiful. And so I am going to stop this so that I can really enjoy the drive, enjoy this scenic route that I'm taking right now, because the greenery on this earth right now is on 10. It's been raining last couple of days, so earth is glistening right now. She got her glow on, popping 10. So yeah, flowers are just yes, they're extremely gorgeous along this route. But I pray that everyone has an amazing day. I pray that this helps you in some way get closer to the Father, helps provide some clarity, some love, some insight that he needs and wants to share with you. Blessings.